Good evening,
Good
Internet.
evening.
Hello, Internet.
Hi guys. Hi.
Janster, Mayflower, how are y'all doing?
Hey everybody.
But thank you. Welcome. It's
Welcome, everybody.
Tuesday night, Scuba and The Ry. Of course, I am Scuba Steve, your kind and gentle host and DM, my co-host being Ry, of course. And this is our night to chill and hang out, talk about movies and geek and all things in between.
Spooky edition.
Yes, it is Halloween, so we're gonna have some Halloween themed discussions today. It's been a busy few days, so hopefully y'all will stick around to hear the enjoyment. And yeah, let's see all the fun. Ryan, what you been up to the last week, my man?
The last week, capital T raining, so training. I'm either
Training.
been training or in training, and that's just because, like I mentioned before, transition to a new team. So I'm learning a lot, and it's gonna be a few more months in training, but once I get to the end, I'll be ready for prime time.
Awesome.
And other than that, grad school work, because that's always, important. And also this weekend, went and had a party. My best friends Crystal and Tony celebrated their 10-year wedding anniversary. So they renewed their vows. I was part of the one of the groomsmen up front, and then we partied during the day and heavy partying at night. And that's when, comes out at night. The fun drinks.
That is always fun.
And then Sunday, spent it with my co-hosts, chilling on the Sunday mornings and schoolwork.
Gotta love the schoolwork.
And a little bit other stuff in between that we'll talk about later. But, happiness and sadness. One of our lovable theaters, at least for me, because it's definitely a theater I've been going to since I was a kid, has hit the rocks because of COVID and a couple other things.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. There always seems to be something.
Yeah, a local Regal theater is closing down permanently. Not just because of the COVID, there's other reasons, but COVID was a driving factor. But, they are putting something interesting and new into that town center entertainment district. Something I mentioned to you before.
Really? Oh, that's right. Town center. We're talking about that. Town center is quote unquote for downtown Virginia Beach.
Downtown Virginia Beach. Quote unquote. But they're putting in this this new entertainment game extravaganza called Apex Entertainment. And it's a 2-floor arcade, bowling alley, go-karts, laser tag, and rock climbing, plus a tavern and eatery. So it's basically Dave and Buster's on steroids. So.
Alrighty. Well,
other than that, I don't have anything else.
gotta remember to turn something up. There. Oh, I'll find it later. No, I've seen a couple of things come in. Like Zip is asking, "What's your major in grad school?"
Oh, my major in grad school, Mr. Chili, he mentioned it. Yep. I'm mastering in English with a concentration in teaching in English. So, getting my first class out of the way. Already registered for next semester, which will be 6 through 12 composition class.
Ooh, would be fun.
But yep, hopefully in 3 or 4 years I'll have that degree and I'll be doing the educational thing on, moving from a training role to a teaching role.
Which is funny because when we met, we were doing tech support.
Yes.
Salbot is online. So now, if you got questions, if you type question in all caps or comment in all caps, and then your following question, it should get aggregate up, and then it will be easier for us to see it and respond to those questions. I did see a comment. It looks like somebody's anniversary is coming up, roughly 16 years, if I skimmed that correctly. Or Demon Rhodes and the Misses, 16 years. So early happy anniversary to you. Enjoy your dinner, my friend. Joseph, enjoy your dinner.
Somebody asked your favorite costume when you were... I don't know if there's extra stuff to that statement. I have a lot of favorite costumes.
Yes. We could spend quite a bit talking about your costumes. May as well answer it now. What is your favorite costume of all the craziness you guys have done?
All my favorite costume I've ever worn was the Maid Marian costume. It's my favorite. and it got us the win that year for the department.
He no, to follow up, what's your favorite costume from when you were a kid?
Oh, when I was a kid, that's easy. Ninja.
Oh lordy. Well, thank you. More bits. More bits. Yes, definitely well deserved. Anniversaries are wonderful things to have when you can celebrate them, whether they're a year or 16 year or 20 or 50.
It's always good to celebrate.
Yes, it is. All right. Yeah. So my week's been fun too. I haven't been doing training and what you've been doing, but it's been trying to get caught up on things. I think I powered through editing a bunch of videos to go up on YouTube because I was falling a little bit behind and started working on some other editing. And then it was D&D, because, you know, that's what the things I do when I'm not over on the Realmsmith Discords doing stuff and whatnot. It's running my own games. And this weekend was a couple of significant things for games. Had a guest on our Saturday night game. The Saturday morning game completed the module, the last piece of the module they were working on, so they'll be starting a new module in 2 weeks. This weekend, of course, is going to be Halloween, so it's going to be all Halloween fun.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna be celebrating Halloween at somewhere, doing something.
Oh, of course. Whether it's a virtual Halloween party, which I didn't realize were a thing, but I heard they were a thing last night, so a lot of props to anybody who's doing virtual Halloween parties. Before I get too much further on, I do want to give a shout out to Syrinscape for the background music and soundboards that we've been listening to. They have just released their new Curse of Strahd sound set, so we are listening to that today. Wasn't a homebrew module per se. It was a module that was originally published in 1991 in Dungeon Magazine called Twilight's Last Gleaming. It was originally written for 2nd edition AD&D, and I scaled it up to 5th edition. So actually a continuation of the charity stream I did back in the early August for Extra Life, and as a thank you to the community for helping me hit affiliate. So that was lots of fun. Yes, this weekend for Halloween, we are going to be doing Strahd Must Die in Space.
Die.
It's the new Halloween one-shot that was posted by Mr. James Hack over there on D&D Beyond. Both of my Saturday streams will be running it just in two different iterations. The Twilight Gleaming crew, which I believe they're renaming themselves, will run it in the morning, and then the Challenge Accepted crew will run it Saturday night. And I think there's some different things going to work out, but it should be a lot of fun. It's a time-based game, so you only have X amount of time to do things before it moves into its final crescendo. So yeah, should be lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun. So yep. So those schedule things. Last Sunday for Sunday with Scoob, which is my Sunday morning show where I just sit, hang out, drink coffee, play games. Actually spent quite a bit of it planning a couple of D&D sessions in the near future. So I may do that some more using the Trello and whatnot. Yeah, Phantom, no pressure at all. Well, I mean, the module is set up to be, it's like 4 hours plus the final battle. Well, my streams are typically 3 hours, so they'll have like 2 hours to try and find and end the adventure early. If not, it moves into its final piece. So see how long that goes. It should be loads of fun. You're supposed to scale it depending on how much time you're giving and whatnot, but the Saturday morning crew is really powerful level 8 characters, so they should not have any problem running through Ravenloft. The Saturday evening crew, gave them the option to bring in other if they have a character that's level 8 from another group, they could bring that in and use that temporarily. It's just a one-shot non-canon deal just for giggles, because why not? Giggles are fun. Let's see, last night I was on a stream. We did if you're obviously a lot of people here will know, you know, the Into the Mist stream over on Realmsmith. I was able to kind of cameo along with the with my fellow moderators over there with Realmsmith, and we were able to cameo and have a couple of moments in the story, which was lots of fun. Of course, I was playing the level 8 cleric Tamazar, a dwarf from the Sword Coast, who, yeah, thinks they're all just a bunch of darn fools. It's okay, Mayflower. It is up on YouTube. If you go to youtube.com/realmsmith, take a look. It's Into the Mist episode 14, which is just the start of the roller coaster that we will see this week. Thursday, I'm running another community session for those guys, which will be a preemptive to the first part of the season finale, which will be Friday night over on Realmsmith's channel. So yeah. Oh, sweet. You're all subbed on Realmsmith? That's awesome. Can't wait to see you in there. I'm not going to call it a train wreck. I'm going to call it a roller coaster. Because it is. It's going to be a roller coaster.
Gotta check them bolts, make sure it's not too shaky.
Well, I mean, last night's episode was pretty intense, but I'm thinking Thursdays will be good. Fridays should be fun too. Just saying.
Fun times.
Can't give away too much, you know, but it should be lots of fun.
Cannot.
So yeah. It's all D&D all the fun, all the time. This whole weekend is going to be lots and lots of D&D. Yes. So much fun. So much fun. Subbed on YouTube, following on Twitch. I don't think they're up to the point they can do a sub thing on YouTube for Realmsmith, but that's pretty cool. I know that's a new thing YouTube is doing, allowing you to do subs, but you can definitely subscribe as in follow the YouTube channel. That's right. Sorry. Having a moment. Some of the more popular channels on YouTube now have a sub feature, kind of like YouTube, kind of like how Twitch has a subscribe feature where you pay a X amount of money each month to get access to cooler things or whatnot behind the scenes. But you know, all the fun. Alrighty. Got that out of the way. Got the shout outs to the sponsors and the and all those people that we got to give credit to. Shout out to schedule updates for the week. Shout out to the community for hanging out with us and all the support you guys have given so far. Whether you follow or check our content out here on Twitch or over on YouTube or through any of our other social medias, and follow us and subscribe to us there, like us there, follow us there. That's all great. All of that stuff helps us kind of keep growing. So appreciate it. Let's go ahead and move into our movie reviews. First thing we do every week is we talk about movies, because Ry Guy has a movie review site he's been running for almost a decade now.
Getting close.
Getting close.
It's when I think about it, yeah, it is getting close to a decade. Yeah, because I started it in 2012.
Yeah. A couple years, it will be a decade. So as usual, Ry's got a movie for us, so we're gonna roll right over to that.
Awesome. Oh yes, and because of Halloween,
it's gonna be a Halloween themed movie, and let's check out the remake of The Witches that came out recently on the HBOMax streaming service. I remember the original was done quite a while ago.
1990 to be exact.
So 20 years. Let's do a remake. Let's see how we do this. So, Ry, tell us about The Witches.
The Witches. It's an HBOMax original / re-imaging of the 1990 classic, and it's based on the Ronald Dahl. I know I might be butchering his name, but I apologize. Novel of the same name, and it focuses on a young boy who doesn't have a name in the movie. He's only known as Hero. Who has a tragic event happen in his life, and he goes to live with his grandmother in Alabama. While living in Alabama, certain situations happen, and he comes across and finds out that witches are real, and are definitely real. So his grandmother, deciding to find a safe haven, goes to this very exclusive hotel, but because of circumstances, all the witches convene on this hotel, and certain things happen, and now the hero has to find a way to stop these witches from destroying the world, aka hurting the kids because the witches hate kids. That is pretty much the premise from end to end on this film. This film, I would break it up in like two halves as a whole. The first half is very general, is a very generalization of a family adventure slash horror. The film tries too hard to try to dabble in too many genres in the first half. It doesn't really have a good central identity of what it wants to be. At first, it's a general family adventure drama trying to introduce you to this kid and this grandmother's relationship, and it's interesting to see the backstory, but they don't really go too much anywhere with it, and then quickly throws in the witches and quickly throws in the aspect of horror and the adventure, and it kind of just juggles between it without having no consistent tone or anything. So it's just kind of juggling its way through the first half. When it eventually gets to the hotel and certain incidents happen, that's when the film kicks into high gear, and it actually feels like a good fusion of scary visuals, over the top CGI, and characterization of the characters, and this boy trying to stop the witches from, instituting their plot to take away all the kids because they hate kids. It's kind of funny if you watch the movie why they hate kids. It's pretty funny actually, but he has to stop them, and it's a pretty predictable plot. It falls along the typical lines of any family adventure film, but what makes it stand a little bit above is that horror element, because there are definitely things in this film which it goes back to that identity crisis. I don't think it knows what it wants to be throughout the whole film. Sometimes it gets really scary with the visuals and the body horror, and then sometimes it just gets way too over the top comic relief, and it just never finds its path along the way. But eventually it comes to an end point. You kind of know what's going to happen at the end, and it wraps up conveniently with a sense of a simple tale told from end to end. So take it away, Scuba. Did you get a chance to watch this?
I have not had a chance to watch it yet.
Yep.
I vaguely remember the original. I believe if I'm remembering right, one of the witches was the actress who played the matriarch of the Addams Family in the Addams Family movies of the 90s.
I don't remember her name, but I know who you're talking about.
I can't remember her name either.
If I find
Marisha Adams or something like that. So
I thought, and I'll find it.
I mean, this is like Stuart Little meets Halloween, if I remember right from the original. Morticia. See, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Sid. Sid, why are you still awake? Wait a minute.
Hold up there.
Morticia.
Oh, there you go. But
I haven't had a chance to see this one. I was reading your review. I was actually quite shocked on how short the review was.
Oh yeah, there just really isn't that much going on in the film. There's a lot of liveliness, and there's a lot of like chances. They drop the ball on a lot of potential. There's a lot of potentials on throwing in some societal aspect, because it takes place in the late 1960s in Alabama. So they could have mixed in some stuff with what was going on, but they just kind of leave it, push it aside. They like introduce things and then just kind of leave it there. But what keeps you in the film are some of the actors and actresses in the film, because they tackle the roles as over the top as you can, and they know exactly what it is. So like Anne Hathaway is the main witch, and she is sexy and creepy at the same time. It's a weird combination, but she falls into the role. She's like, I know what this is. I'm gonna just play it to the extreme, and she does. Octavia Spencer plays the grandmother, and she's so great in that like motherly grandmother role. And then some of the other names is Stanley Tucci is in the film, and a couple others, but it's just that tonal shift. You can never get a grasp of what the film never gets a grasp of what it wants to be, and it's kind of sad because the director and writer is Robert Zemeckis, and if you know his name, he's Back to the Future, who's Framing Roger Rabbit, Flight. He has some good movies under his name, but watching it just seems like he couldn't figure out. It was more style over substance in this, instead of trying to make something genuine.
Okay, so what's the final verdict on this one?
Final verdict. be a good fun family adventure film if you like a couple scares, because there are a couple things that to me scared me, and physical horror does scare me.
Okay.
But it just wasn't it's not that much of a watch, but if you want to check it out, you can. It's on HBO Max. It's not going to cost you much. 2.5 out of 5 Friday night rental.
Well, I mean, it's Halloween. You get a lot of those various campy type of movies.
Yeah, campy is fun. I'm never going to take away. It's definitely fun. And I'm going to tell you, if anybody watched this one, and I know there's a couple of people that says they did watch this one, there is one scene that scared the crap out of me. And it had to do with a girl changing. And for some reason, it scared me. All the bad words you can throw.
I mean, it was one of the things I remember from the other one. It's like they're all at this hotel. It's kind of like a witches convention.
Yeah.
It's like if witches had a con, this was it. And this kid just happened to stumble in on it.
Yeah, that's right, Shelly. The graphics were good. They're definitely in some of the changes.
Yeah. I mean, practical versus CGI and all that fun stuff. I will try and give this a watch just for to kind of see how it goes.
And my next movie, it's a mixed bag. I'm gonna watch one for myself. I might write a review for it, but I'm looking forward to finally getting a chance to watch that Bill Murray movie, On the Rocks, the one I keep pushing off. But there's another one I'm gonna watch, and I'm going back and forth if I'm gonna write a review for it. So.
That's all good. Now we're moving into Thanksgiving, and soon we're moving into the holiday, and see how much fun that'll be.
Soul drops Christmas Day, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. See, that's it. Halloween probably wouldn't have watched it. But all right, so now we get into our next thing, which of course is State of Game.
Gamer games.
We talk about the various games we were playing and the games we were involved in. As usual, we kind of start off with video game stuff because Ry plays more video games than tabletop, and then of course I do tabletop and do some recaps on some of the recent sessions. Don't have a whole lot of sessions other than a little bit about what happened this Saturday, because things happened. Yeah, so first off, video games. Ry, get what you've been doing for video games. I know you've been doing your video game top 20 for 20.
Yeah. That's definitely I was gonna drop it in this section because on the play side, I haven't really been playing much because I'm kind of waiting for Watchdog Legions, which drops Friday. So I'll have first impressions next Tuesday on that. But Genshin Impact, having fun with that. Decided to play about an hour of Fall Guys. That's definitely a fun game.
It is. You just get sucked right into it.
And then for some reason, I just got the bug to play Roller Coaster Tycoon again, the classic one.
Roller coaster seems to be a theme today.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if we're gonna have something in odds and ends about roller.
Maybe. Who knows? Hint, foreshadowing. But the majority of this talk is going to be I've been doing a new 20 for 20 list on the Book of Face. So, and I have a good list from last Tuesday to this Tuesday. So starting with number 5 is my fifth most impactful game is Final Fantasy VIII. Okay. Released on the PlayStation. It was my first RPG I ever played, and I love that RPG. An underrated game in the series, and one that gave me my love for RPGs.
Yeah, because that one because you had Final Fantasy VII, which is such a great game, and but 8 was a lot more. The art style was a lot more realistic compared to 7.
Oh yeah, I definitely might pick it up because I know it's on the Switch.
And we know that when we get to 9, they went right back into some of the classic Final Fantasy art styles of things being kind of a goofy thing.
Yeah, I know you love 9. You definitely tell me.
I played 9, but 7 I really enjoy. I don't think I've actually ever. I think the only Final Fantasy game I have ever finished is 15. That's the only one I've actually finished, and I think out of all of them, 15 is in my top 3 favorite Final Fantasies, if not the favorite Final Fantasy.
Finished 8, finished 15, and finished 7 remake. So.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So that was the 5th game. What's the 6th game?
6 on the list is Assassin's Creed 2. It built on the promise of the first game, and it's probably still It's neck and neck with another game as my number one in the series. It built on that promise and actually made you feel like you were an assassin. Plus, the time period that it took place in was one of my favorite time periods.
Amazing.
Yep. Number 7. It's probably a favorite of yours. Is Halo 2. Halo 2 is by far my favorite Halo game in the series, and one of the reasons is Friday night Halo nights. Friends, it would be Friday nights, we'll be at my house, hook up 2 TVs, 2 Xboxes, and just play death matches all the way through the night, drinking Mountain Dew and eating a bunch of tacos from Taco Bell.
The Halo franchise as a whole is one of my favorites, more for the studio side as well as for the game and the story.
Yeah.
I remember I didn't have those Halo nights per se because when we were talking Halo and Halo 2, I was active duty in Arizona.
Oh yeah.
And so I remember I had been married. I was recently married, and one night I walked over to the barracks to hang out with the guys in the squadron, and we were having drinks and playing Halo. So you'd see Cat 5 cable running down the barrack hallways from room to room, and just these big, massive 16-on-16 battles. And I realized then, and I stick to it now, I suck at first-person shooters. And nobody wants to do multiplayer with me because I don't know reasons. I seem to have a very bad rep, and probably because I'm an opportunist.
It's okay. I'm good and bad, just depending on the first-person shooter.
Well, that and I just suck at tactics. So I mean, if I see 2 people dueling, I'll toss a grenade in there. So some people may not like that, but I can't jump and shoot and dodge and all those crazy things on the controllers. I just. Ugh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was prime in Halo 2. Number 8 on the list is another RPG, one that actually built on my love, Elder Scrolls Skyrim. I just fell in love with that game.
One of the best games to start and never finish.
Oh yeah. This is of all the games on my list, this is the one I did not finish because there's just so much to do, and
you don't play Skyrim to finish.
Yeah.
That's the greatest meme of it all. You don't play Skyrim to finish it. You play Skyrim just to wander around the world.
Oh yeah, it's just the way. What I love the most in this game is that decisions had real consequences in the game, and the random encounters that you would have in this game would affect things down the road. It might not affect something directly, you come across, but it will affect you hours into the game somewhere.
Of course.
Number 9 on the list. Speaking of roller coasters, Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's probably my favorite simulation game, and it's the one that captures my creativity, and just all out fun. Just building your own roller coasters and watching people enjoy themselves. It's just fun.
I got a quick comment for Phantom.
Yeah, all right.
Phantom. The xCloud. There was a bit in one of the articles that Ry sent me. xCloud. The whole xCloud concept.
Yeah.
If you have a smart fridge with one of those displays where you could kind of look through the display to see what's in the fridge, you could actually connect that to the xCloud. And I saw somebody playing Halo. The screenshot was actually somebody playing Halo on their fridge. So
yeah, that's just
it
funny.
probably won't be too hard to play Skyrim on your fridge.
Nah, it probably won't be.
Or if not, that'll be a gag at the next E3 from that conference, because they put Skyrim everywhere.
Oh yeah, definitely fun times. But Roller Coaster Tycoon. When that's it. Actually, the other reason I started playing Roller Coaster Tycoon again is because when I posted this, I was just like, you know what?
Let me put it on the brain. I just got to do it.
I got to do it, and I've been just rebuilding parks and coasters since I put that up there. The number 10 on the list, Ninja Gaiden, the Xbox version.
Never played that one.
That game was, out of everything on my list, was one of the hardest games I ever played, and it actually challenged my wits, my tactics, and just being patient with enemy types.
I remember the 8-bit version on the original Nintendo being royal pain in the butt to get through.
Oh yeah,
this one again, I'm a couple generations ahead of you on games.
Yep. Ninja Gaiden was one of the hardest, and probably the hardest game I ever played, minus maybe Dark.
I'm not sure, Phantom. I don't know if the Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox was a remake of the original.
I don't really know.
Yeah, most everything in 8-bit was like stupidly
Yeah,
difficult.
yeah,
You if you cut your teeth on 8-bit system, and did you understand the pain?
yeah, it'd be like Battletoads. Yeah.
We don't talk about Battletoads.
And number 11 is probably a good way to end this list on this day since it's Halloween edition. This is a game I talked about last Halloween, and I'll talk about it again for the new people. And that's Resident Evil 2 on the original PlayStation.
Original PlayStation 2.
Yeah. Resident Evil 2 was the first horror game I ever played, and the first game that scared the bejesus out of me. And I will break the story down to you. You're going through the hallway after you get to the station. You go to the left, you go through the main lobby, and then you're going down the hallway, creaking, the wind's coming through the windows, and you're making that turn, and you hear a noise. Then you see liquid dripping from the ceiling, and so you turn up, and you see a liquor. The first time I saw the liquor, I will remember it to this day. I turned my PlayStation off, I threw my controller, and I ran out the room. That is the main reason that game is on the list, but also it was another game that made me a challenge because you had to be tactical with ammo. You did not know what was around the corner, and it confined you in space to solve puzzles.
I need to look up the homebrew monsters for a liquor then.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that specific moment I will forever live with me. So when I played the remake, I went around that corner slowly because I was like, I know what's around this corner.
No, it's here.
I know it's here. I can hear it. So, yeah.
Totally get that.
All right. So, next Tuesday, I am going to have some interesting games on this list.
Oh, can't wait. Can't wait.
Do another hint like I did last time.
We're
Okay.
good.
All right.
We'll get around to it. We'll get around to it.
But yeah, glad you enjoyed the list, people.
Yeah, so for me, the only video game I played I played a little bit more of BG3 Early Access. I had some issues with that on Sunday. I had to uninstall and reinstall it on a different drive because I'm running out of drive space in my production box. And that's a little frustrating. So if you're one of those people who does PC gaming and have enjoyed the benefit of playing a game on a solid state drive, flipping over to a standard mechanical drive, it's almost like wanting to do an Oedipus impression and just stab your eyes out because it just sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's yeah, whatever works, I guess.
It sucks. Trying to play it when you're so used to the load times on an SSD and then watching it on a mechanical, and you're just like, oh.
Oh yeah, it's that's all I can say.
But yeah, it was so did that, finally got in, decided to create a warlock this time, and got through the first part of the tutorial. Hopefully I'll play some more again. But you know, that's kind of it for video games. My other stuff, of course, is the D&D, which as people know, I do a lot of dungeon mastering for games. Pretty quiet this past week. We had our Friday night game for No Quarter. No Quarter searched the monastery the shrine they had gone to find, and got a vision of where the dragon is that they need to go kill. So now they've gone back to the mine, and when they went back to the mine, they asked the were-rats that set up shop in the mines, hey, we cleared out your old home, you gonna go back to it? And the were-rats were like, nah, we're good. We're gonna stay right here. So now the party has it's gonna go back in and start clearing it out. Yep. Yeah, BG3 is pretty big. So Saturday morning was the Twilight's Gleaming, which I know they're talking about new name changes. One of the names I heard was Shadow Knights, and I thought that was pretty sick. But they were tracking a dragon. They didn't know they were tracking a dragon, and then they found the dragon. And yeah, that dragon lasted all of about 3 rounds of combat before they killed it. Now, mistakes were made on my part. I admit it. I was a little too flustered trying to keep track of everything, and I should have slowed it down a little bit more. But I realized we found the dragon. we're getting close to our break time, and it's like, okay, got to see how this goes. And yeah, that dragon just died in 3 rounds, and it was like, crap. No, I wasn't happy. This was, I actually, the original module calls for a young shadow dragon with some limited spellcasting capability. I did not think that would be a strong enough challenge, so I made it an adult shadow dragon that had ancestry as a white dragon. So it gave me a few things to play with. And of course, you know, the party being the party, hit it with some, because some of the magical items I had given them were broken, and did not realize how broken they were until they were used. And then, but this is why I love the players I play with, is because we could actually have a candid conversation about it, because we're all on the same page in the fact that these are 2nd edition game modules scaled up for 5th edition. There are going to be some things that don't quite translate well across 20 years. So we were able to kind of work through and rebalance a couple of the items. But needless to say, I also know that they can deal a pretty significant amount of damage. A couple of them can crush at like 20 to 30 points of damage per round. And it's like, when your creature only has 200 hit points and you do like 50 in the first round, and once everybody piles in, it's like almost 75 to 100. It's like, yeah, this isn't going very well. I thought this would take a little longer. Yeah. Yep.
Interesting stuff.
Hmm?
I'm just reading conversations
Yep.
and listening.
Oh, don't be worried about scenes on parade. You guys will be fine. It did go well. It was really kind of, it was creative. It was a lot of fun. I didn't keep the dragon on the ground that long. I got it up in the air and I just didn't get it away. So, because like, you know, they had prepared very well. So it's good because it means it pushes me to improve my abilities to plan encounters and tweak things. So
Fun stuff.
But we did decide on a new module. It's another 2nd edition module. It's called Shards of the Day. That will start up not this weekend, but next weekend. And that is an Underdark adventure. So it'll be quite interesting to see how that goes. It should, looking at that as rough estimate, that should go until the end of 2020, possibly into 2021, depending on how the party approaches going through it. And then challenge accepted Saturday night, we had a guest on and we had a new cast member join. So paired up the guest and the new cast member to be on a separate investigation, found the party member who was abducted, and bring her back. So they had this big moment where the original party and their first antagonist and the guest and the new cast and the captured person all came together. And it's like the captured person actually had to play 2 people because she had to play herself and her duplicate. So that was actually kind of humorous to see how that played out, which is again up on the VOD here on Twitch if you want to check out those things and all the fun there. Excuse me. Late night last night. I slept in. You figured I wouldn't be so tired at this point in the night. But
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Sometimes I get sleep, I'm groggy. Sometimes I get sleep, I'm good. I don't know.
yeah,
Ways of the world.
it's what we do.
Dun dun dun.
But yep, that was it. Did not have Agents of Short / Agents of Tall or whatever you want to call it. Most of the guys had ended up having to back out, so no Sunday game session, which was good because I did some prep for them, but I spent a lot of time prepping for them because they were the immediate. Now that they're done, I can work on getting ready for Thursday, and I have a whole nother week to get ready for the regular Saturdays. And of course, prepping for this weekend, which is Strahd must die in space. And no matter how many times I say it, it still sounds like a lot of fun every time I say it, because this is just going to be wild and crazy fun.
It does sound crazy. It's like you're taking fantasy, sci-fi, and hoopla all into one jar.
Well, yeah, I mean, D&D did have a set of sci-fi stuff called Spelljammer. And there's been a big push amongst fans to try and see if they will bring Spelljammer into 5th edition.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, we have not heard anything official that Spelljammer will be brought into 5th edition, but we can all hope. And I mean, what's the worst gonna happen? See?
Dice roll, please, and next turn.
But for those who haven't read it or are unfamiliar, the whole premise of Strahd Must Die in Space is Strahd's minions found a Spelljammer helm on the borders of Barovia, and he decided to install it in his castle. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong, people?
So that is part of the premise on this. So you get to travel through space and then move to another planet. Yes, Phantom, that was actually a Spelljammer ship, because the Illithid were part of the Spelljammer world. Their Nautiloids are Spelljammer ships. There's actually a module. I don't know if I have it in hard copy, but there was a module that you could run where you could go through the Sword Coast and find a downed Nautiloid ship and check it out. But I also found there was a nice website. It was like archive.org, where they had a bunch of different D&D magazine modules that you could look at and check out. So loads of fun. But yeah, that was pretty much my D&D weekend. Got this Thursday session. Should be lots of fun. I've been working on overlays for that, because we're going to record it and give it to the Realm Smith peeps so they can put it up on their stuff, because it's in affiliation with it's for them, which I'm happy to do. And then we'll have Halloween goody fun, because why not? But I think we're ready for our fireside chat section.
Fireside chats with Scuba and The Ry. What are we talking about today? Oh, wait. Halloween.
Gotta love that.
Yes.
That was a nice thought. Alrighty, so for our fireside chat this week, we're going to talk about our favorite Halloween things. Ry has got a couple of top 5 lists, so we'll go with his top 5 lists, and I'll give my input on that. I'm going to do the first one I'm going to do it in this order just because it's good fun. And that is, Ry has his top 10 candies, or top 5 candies.
Top 10 overall.
Oh, top 10 overall, but
you and me.
I don't think there'll be a top 10 after this, but I think that I would have a difference in the order.
Okay.
But Halloween candies, because especially if you're a parent, one of the best things I think about Halloween as a parent is when your kids come back, you get to inspect the candy.
Oh yeah, inspect
the parent tax.
And a good thing for adults for Halloween is the post sale the next day.
Oh gosh, don't know. All right, so Ry, we've got this list of your top 5 candies. So why don't you tell me what your top 5 candies are?
All right, you want me to just go straight down, or you want me to say and stop, or?
Just give me your top 5. We'll talk about it. Then we'll do.
Right.
And then I'll offer my opinions.
All right. So here are my top 5. I had to think about it, because this isn't just top 5 candies. This is top 5 Halloween candies. So I had to think deep and hard.
So what are the criteria? Are these candies that do some cool packaging for Halloween?
It's a mixture of packaging, looking forward to on Halloween, and just the fact these are what I enjoy getting when I reach into the bucket and grab, and that's what I find.
Fair.
Okay. So my top 5 Halloween candies are Skittles, Kit Kats, dark chocolate Hershey's, the mini ones, Blow Pops, and Reese's Cups. Those are my 5.
See, I'm gonna go with the Reese's and the Kit Kats. Reese's because they do the great Halloween packaging, whether they're the pumpkins or the trees or the bats. You gotta enjoy all those. For me, then it's Kit Kats because who doesn't want a Kit Kat?
I love me some Kit Kats.
And then I would go with. See, I'm not real big on the blow pops. Skittles, they're a little too chewy for me, but I know my daughter loves them. In fact, that's her nickname. That's her call. That's her call sign on the airsoft field is Skittles.
Oh yeah, we know. We all know. Yeah.
She's pretty deadly with the MP5 I have. But Reese's Kit Kats, of course. Then I'm gonna go with like the Milky Ways and the Snickers bars. Those are always great
because he was screaming it in the chat.
Huh?
Chad was like dropping Snickers in the chat, so that makes him happy.
Hey, I mean, you can't go wrong with Snickers. Milky Way is another great one. Three Musketeers, and of course, candy corn. Because for some reason, candy corns are fun. And one of my favorites for Halloween as well is the Whoppers, because that's the only time of year I actually ever eat them.
Oh yeah.
Because they're the candy that lasts the longest. I mean, seriously, think about this.
No,
your kids go out for Halloween, they come back and they got all this great candy, and inevitably there's like a 3-to-1 ratio of Whoppers.
Always. Well, I don't understand that. I always wonder that.
I don't get either. But then everybody eats the candy and everybody's kind of chewing on the candy. What's the candy that's left over at the bottom of the bucket every year? The Whoppers.
Always. It's death, taxes, and Whoppers at the bottom of the bag. So.
Oof.
So yeah, people are dropping in their favorites. So if anybody wants to drop in,
Let's drop
in. What is some of your top? What is your top 5 candies?
I don't know about the. I don't know the turtles. I'm not familiar with the turtles.
If there's some that you love on Halloween and we didn't mention, drop it in there. I saw some ones. I saw 100 grams. I saw on people.
100 grand is actually pretty good candy.
Yeah. I saw almond joys in there.
Why? I mean, do you have them around in case Black Noir comes to visit?
Hey, you gotta have protection, I guess.
No shame on the candy corn, because the candy corn actually isn't that bad of a candy.
A Mr. Good bar, yeah, that's a good choice. That's never good.
Harley Girl, what's your favorite candy?
Yeah, drop in your favorite candies, people. Seeing some good in that list.
You're welcome.
Yes. Oh my God, Steve, great reference. Yeah, you win the reference game today. I can't top that one. No, not this night. This night goes.
When you go back and you think about it, every time they referenced Almond Joy, or the girl eating it, he wants her to throw it away. The fact that they're talking about Almond Joy is the worst candy bar ever created.
And just on a side note, that just makes me think about a comment I dropped on Facebook after finishing the show. Was I said, "Do you want a Fresca?" has a whole new meaning. Stay safe, my friends.
Oh yeah.
Dark chocolate, anything on Halloween's great.
Turtles, an almond nut cluster type thing. Yeah, those would definitely be up there on the expensive part.
As long as you have a lot of time to eat them. Yeah, well, I guess it depends. It's a roll of the dice with the Heath bar. It's either going to chomp it once or you're going to chomp it on that 20-minute drive. So.
And the worst part is like you get we're talking about all the candies that everybody's like, those are the first things we eat, and then there's all that other 3rd tier, 4th tier candy that you get in the big value bag, and you hand out that it's like nobody ever eats it.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely. I don't know if we're giving out candy this year, but I'm definitely gonna show up and buy me some bags the next day.
Gummies, Swedish fish.
Okay.
The thing is, I don't have any Reese's to eat after the show today, so I'm right there with you.
I think, there's a couple places open when I'm driving home. I might stop and get some candy.
I got the big 5-pound jug of animal crackers.
Kitty mix bag. Pixie sticks.
Oh yeah, those were always good.
Yeah, a staple for Halloween.
Oof. It's okay.
It's all good.
Halloween parties are a nice thing to come up from that. And I, you know,
Yeah, Halloween parties I go to, they start out one way and they end up another. The drinks start flowing.
depends. I think I think the last one I went to was the one where you dressed up as Jackie Kennedy.
That was a while ago.
That was a minute.
Yeah.
That was a minute. We were there. It was our Saturday. It was our game night. We were playing board games and stuff.
I like it how every time that we drop me and drag, everybody has a shocking look. Yes, I did. I dressed up as the First Lady, JFK's wife.
Oh, that's okay. Well, if you're gonna stay in there, there's always things to watch. So,
You work in
speaking
retail.
of things to watch, let's talk about some Halloween movies that we
Enjoy. Yes, I gave. You tasked me with the top 5, and I gave top 5 Halloween horror movies.
in no particular order.
They're no particular order.
Well, let's hear 'em.
All right. My 5 Halloween horror films. It was kind of hard to put this list, like I told you before. There was a 2 that were juggling, but I picked one. So number 1 on my list is Poltergeist. Poltergeist is definitely, to this day, which I mentioned the Scuba off air. It scared me the first time I watched it, and it still scares me to this day. It's the first horror movie I ever watched, and it's the first horror movie that made me realize, yes, I can definitely be scared forever. Number 2 is Get Out. That is probably a revolutionary horror movie. It does a lot of great things, and it's another one of those movies that does scare me. It actually scared me the second time I watched it, because when you think about the plausibility of the stuff that was happening in it, that scared me. Okay. And that's one of the rare horror movies that scared me a second time. It doesn't happen very often. 3rd is Insidious. That movie just creeped me out, especially with the devil roaming around. There's one particular scene where the demon shows up, and I fell out my seat because I didn't see it coming. Number 4, Cabin in the Woods. Oh my goodness. That is that horror comedy movie that makes me laugh, and it makes fun of the genre so well that it's just a great satire of what the horror genre is. And number 5 was the one I was juggling back and forth, but I settled on this just because it did recapture the magic. Halloween 2018. Michael Myers and I forget her name, but what I liked about it was she didn't just play the running scared. She played, she was up for a fight. She was ready to take him on.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis character was just like, grabbed the gun and said, let's go. So, yeah. Those are my 5.
Oh. Well, I would see that being a thing. But yeah, Chili had a great suggestion for the chat, and that is, what is your costumes going to be?
But yeah, what is your costumes this year going to be, people?
So we got Harley Girl, who's going to be a teddy bear. We got Mayflower, who's going to be Lydia Dietz from Beetlejuice. We talking the movie Beetlejuice or the animated cartoon Beetlejuice? Because there's 2 different costume picks for Lydia and that. Visible Man. Costume myself. Oh, the musical Beetlejuice. Okay. Oh, you're going to dress up as your character, Wilhelmina. That might be a little dangerous, or, because, Wilhelmina has prosthetics. I don't want you to, cut your arm off. Do cyberpunk. Well played. It's my she. Well played.
Yes, it did get delayed, sadly. But, hey, that was a good one. So we got a lot of good drops today, man.
Grumpy old man staying at home. I find that hard for you, Chili. I really do, because I've heard your Zelda voice.
I haven't decided if I'm going to dress up this year or not. If I do, it'll be a mystery.
Only Terrell. Oh, wow.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I have grand ideas for stuff I'd like to do. Like I'd love to do a Warhammer build. I'd love to do a Stormtrooper build, but right now time and resources are not my friend. Oh, I haven't done that either. You know, maybe next year if we're doing well, we'll do pumpkin carving and some of those other cool Halloween-y things. But I wouldn't mind doing a Halloween party, even if it was a virtual.
It'd be cool.
Oh wait, I'm running D&D games, so I guess I am having a party.
Party with them dice.
And I think we're gonna do some Warhammer on Sunday. Something.
Should be fun. Should be fun.
Pokemon trainer made his own Pokeballs out of clay. That is cool. But all right, so Halloween movies I enjoy. Well, mine are probably gonna be a little different than this list.
Yeah.
First one, of course, is the Evil Dead franchise.
Gotta love Evil Dead.
Just see, I like franchise groups like the Evil Dead franchise, the original Alien trilogy, because it wasn't too crazy about Prometheus and
Alien Covenant
or Resurrection. God, I hate it. I actually kind of hated Resurrection because that was just don't screw up my sci-fi creatures. Ernest Scared Stupid's another one I enjoy. That's very much Halloween-y because I like having fun. I mean, Halloween for me is all about fun. There is a scary element, there is a creepy element, and I do have an appreciation for that. But when I think of Halloween, I think of there's an element of horror, but there's also an element of it's the trick and the treat.
Oh yeah.
So, Ernest Scared Stupid is probably one of the ones I enjoy because I was sitting there thinking about this. So the first ones that came to mind was the Alien franchise, the Ernest Scared Stupid, Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, and then there was some of the old classic ones. Yeah, the Ernest series was just,
there's just so many in that series. Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, that was another one I was thinking, like the Wes Craven and the John Carpenter stuff.
The Thing.
Yep, The Thing. That's actually up on, I was thinking about checking that out because for some reason with, Rime of the Frost Maiden, watching The Thing is on my mind. Of course, classic vampire stuff. Is always great. So there's just some of those classic things. Oh yeah, the Monster Squad. That's another good Halloween one I enjoy. But I actually can't sit and watch that because that was so campy the first time around.
Which one?
Monster Squad.
Oh yeah.
That's a good 80s kickback. And as far as like horror movies to watch, because I like sci-fi horror, I like comedy horror, mystery horror. Any of those are really enjoyable. But like my first horror movie that I really had not sci-fi horror thing was Leviathan with Peter Weller. That's one of my favorites to kind of watch because it's got that creepy claustrophobic feel. Trying to recreate that. Event Horizon. Oh, that's good. That one's great. That one actually stands up really well to time. Sphere is another one.
Yeah, that. Yeah. That's a good choice.
Yeah, I try to stick away from like really creepy horror, and I like classic. I like some of the classic horror. Like, not the stuff that's all in your face, gory, but some of the stuff that in the end is kind of campy. Yep, Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is a great one.
Well, yeah, it's definitely one prime time. They did put it back in theaters.
Well, they did. Well, I mean, it holds up really well. Here's a little obscure one that pretty much dates me, and that is the Mr. Boogedy film. So if anybody knows that, then you definitely in there for as far as obscure nuggets of films. But that's now up on Disney Plus. I remember that from way back in the day. Way back. But those are kind of my things. And then there's like I guess Halloween games or horror games. We know the Resident Evil franchise really gets you. I think the scariest one I've been playing is Call of Cthulhu. But there have been some really good horror games that have come out, as well as some that are just goofy fun.
Oh yeah, horror games. I know a couple.
Silent Hill. That's a great one.
What is it? One that I played the first chapter and I haven't gone back to it. It's on the Xbox One. It'll come to me. Evil Within.
Oh, the Evil Within. That one was that one gets you.
Yep. Another one. I think it's on Game Pass. Outlast.
Yep.
Yep.
Outlast.
There's another one on.
Shaun the Dead was so funny. But yeah, I could see that the zombie bit. 28 Days Later.
28 Days Later.
30 Days of Night. But I think the Evil Dead franchise is probably gonna be the first one I think of, because just Evil Dead 2, and then Army of Darkness. I mean, and even the remake was the remake was great. I was really hoping they were gonna continue that.
You ever check out the series?
Nope. Oh, come on. The original Evil Dead is so funny.
You ever check out the series on Stars?
No, I haven't actually done that, but I did see it was on Netflix.
Oh yeah. I definitely would check it out because, you know, they finished it, so it's like 4 seasons. I'm gonna check it out as well one day. What's so scary?
What was the game? I'm curious. No, we're not talking the original. We're not talking the Evil Dead from the mid 2000s. We're talking Evil Dead from the 80s with Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, and then Evil Dead 2, where they realized even though on Evil Dead they set out to make a horror film, they actually made a comedy.
Yeah,
and they just played into that.
They definitely played it in the next two, and I believe they did the same thing in the series.
Remake of Man with the Screaming Brain that Bruce Campbell did. No, I did not know that was a thing.
The Screaming Brain.
Myst. Oh, yes. Myst is a classic.
Oh, yeah. That is a classic PC game.
Classic game. Yeah, Myst was
that game was a whole nother level of woohoo. You know,
that the BioShock games, any of those puzzle.
I love the BioShock games. I actually enjoyed Infinite a little bit more, but that's just me.
Yeah. Oh, The Fly. Yes.
That is the epitome of what you call body horror, and that
The Fly, and don't forget The Fly 2, which was a little campier, but it had some really good moments. Oh, Alien, the newest one they did where they were talking about Ripley's daughter, Alien Isolation, I think is what it was. Yeah, that game was really kind of creepy because you had to like totally be careful. I think it's Alien Isolation. Yeah, Alien Isolation. That one had some moments. Spooked on the first BioShock. The sound. Yeah. Blade. Blade's a good series for Halloween films. I like the second one probably the most, but then again, that's because it's Guillermo del Toro, so yeah, kind of has a thing there. Underworld franchise. That's another great one. Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman is another one I turn to for good Halloween fun. The Underworld franchise, the last couple of films, I gotta be honest, were kind of weird.
I never watched the last few ones, but
the last two were that formula they had with the whole Michael and Celine thing moving in, and it started to get kind of weird. But you know, I mean,
No, it didn't age well.
yeah, The Rise of the Lycans is probably my favorite. All right, Phantom, we'll still be here.
I think it's on Netflix. It's somewhere.
Yeah,
I
the
saw
whole
it.
franchise is. I picked it up on sale for like $10 for the whole franchise.
Yeah, I did see it somewhere.
Definitely one of my favorite ones, just because I like the style. I haven't checked out the newer Van Helsing series, but I have seen it.
Sunshine is an underrated film. I do like Sunshine.
Sunshine. I'm not familiar with that one.
It's one where they have to ignite the sun, because it's about to die. But it's more of a psychological thriller than the actual the actual mission. Like the mission is the key incident that drives it, and it's just that kind of isolation and trying to accomplish the mission, but being so isolated. Yeah.
Brothers Grimm. Oh, speaking of that one, Hansel and Gretel with Jeremy Renner.
Witch Hunters.
Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel. Yes, that's a good one too.
Yeah, I have that Hansel and Gretel. I did review it. Check it out on my page below.
So yeah, the Hansel and Gretel was really kind of comic booky fun.
Yeah, it was. I liked it because it spun it in a different way.
Yeah, Priest with Paul Bettany wasn't terrible.
I never.
Some people didn't like it, but I think Carl Urban made a great bad guy. Ugh, I haven't seen the new Hansel and Gretel. I wasn't too curious about that one. Oh, yeah, The Ring is just crazy.
Yeah, The Ring The Ring was the one that brought all those Japanese adaptations over. But if you do like good horror movies foreign, definitely check out A Tale of Two Sisters.
Oh, we hit on the Scream franchise, and we hit on that. Let's talk about the first two. Don't forget the first two scary movies that were done by the Wayans brothers.
Use my strong hand. My germs.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched The Ring all the way through, and I have in no hurry to do that. Legion was hard for me to watch. I'll be honest. It didn't hook me and keep me in.
I am just going to comment that I'm just going to keep it kosher and just say I didn't like it. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean,
I couldn't eat mashed potatoes while after scary. Kind of funny. I did eat mashed potatoes today.
it's a Mexican. Oh man. Yeah, I could see that. But if the mashed potatoes is the thing you couldn't eat, yeah, obviously we're forgetting the turkey incident. Just saying.
I can see it in my head. Why'd you do that, Scuba? Oh.
Because I have my moments.
Oh yeah, I will never forget watching Scary Movie because that was one that it came out at a time when I couldn't see rated R movies, and my dad took me and my friend to see it, and we had an interesting time watching that with my dad. I remember walking out of the theater, and he told my friend, "Do not tell your mom what we just watched."
Good idea.
Yes.
RoboCop. The original RoboCop of Peter Weller. That was one of the first rated R movies I watched.
May says she's so confused.
Don't worry, if you've watched Scary Movie, you'll understand what we're talking about.
The first two.
Scary Movie 2.
Scary Movie 2 especially.
Scary Movie 2, because that plays on the whole haunted house bit. Specifically the haunted house movie that had Catherine Zeta-Jones and
I know what you're thinking. I know they had a bit where they joked The Exorcist.
Yeah, they did joke The Exorcist because James Woods was in there, but I was
They joked
Qui-Gon.
Yeah, I know you don't. I can't think of
Who's
it.
the actor who plays Qui-Gon again? Losing his name. But
isn't Tim Curry in there too?
Huh?
I don't know.
Oh, and
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson. Thank you. Liam Neeson was in that one.
House on Haunting Hill, or The Haunting.
No, I think it's The Haunting. Yeah, that was a great one.
You know they're making another. They plan to make another Scream. I saw that in the news recently.
Yeah. Well, yep, Matt Lillard and oh, creepy movie was 13 Ghosts. I tried watching that again, and I was just having a hard time. Oh, you cannot talk about Halloween without talking about Rocky Horror Picture Show.
There's a good costume idea. What do you think, guys? Should I do it?
What?
Yeah. I don't know. Just trying to throw out ideas.
Obi-Wan is coming back. It's not a movie. It's going to be a series on Disney Plus.
8-episode series. I think 8 episodes. Yeah. I have.
Ry is Frankenfurter. I mean, you know, embrace your inner Tim Curry. Now I haven't actually. I'm with you. I haven't watched Rocky Horror all the way through that I can remember, but I do know quite a bit of it because I actually did have a relationship with someone who could pull off the maid. Oh, what was her name? The redhead.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. Of course, had Meatloaf in it and all those other great guys. Nightmare Before Christmas. That one's actually not bad, but I don't know if that's a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie.
Yeah, we were debating that last
We were
podcast.
debating that. I think it's a Christmas movie. It just happens to be, you know, Halloween. It has some Halloween themes. Oh, Little Shop of Horrors. Can't go wrong with Rick Moranis and Steve Martin. Yeah, that was a great one. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That was great to watch again after so many years.
It's on one of the streaming services, right? Oh, isn't
Disney Plus, I believe. Either on Disney Plus or it's on HBOMax.
I know I saw it somewhere.
Well, I mean, I know I have my Christmas routine, so it's getting. I'm getting itchy for that. Can't wait for my Christmas routine. Yep, the original Little Shop, 1408. I don't remember that one. Get there. Alrighty.
Some good talks. Like seeing everybody drop.
I like having the interaction with the chat. It's great. It's always great. 1408 Jim Carrey movie. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I know which one it is now. I think I know which one it is. Gotcha. Well, what do you say we move into our odds and ends? Ready for some odds and ends?
Yes. Very fun odds and ends.
Yeah, let's have some odds and ends fun. Odds and ends, where we talk about various internet stories that Ry finds and sends me. This week we're definitely talking some Halloween themed odds and ends,
and some other fun odds and ends.
Yep. Which I think we've actually Easter egged throughout the entire point of the episode up till now. Because I think so. Chat, let me know if we did a good job doing that. Our first story that we're going to discuss is Fortnite.
Yes, sir.
Specifically, Fortnite released a series of there was an article that was on PC Gamer where they gave out codes for you to go to various Fortnite maps where people coded various Halloween themed maps. And I've got a quick list of some really fun ones. There's a lot more in this list, but the first one, which is what we've got the screen grab here, is Dead by Fortnite, which is a spoof on the Dead by Daylight game. Your player, who is the killer, gets an infinity sword, and all the survivors have to disable generators to beat the bad guy. So they are running around doing that. It's really kind of interesting on that. Another one is we have obviously, because it is a great horror game, they have 3 different Resident Evil maps. There's a remake of the Resident Evil police station from Resident Evil 2. There's a remake of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, at least the first couple of chapters. And there's a remake of Spencer Mansion from Resident Evil. And we talked about it earlier. They actually also did a recreation of the Outlast game,
which will
for Fortnite.
Scare you.
So
it's definitely interesting to see, a game that is, it's a popular game right now, but incorporating the holidays in a very intuitive way. So
yeah, some of the other ones, there was a Five Nights at Freddy's remake. There was some independent stuff, but there's definitely a lot of spoofing of other games.
Yeah, the Five Nights at Freddy's I definitely would have run away from, because that game will scare you. There's a hide and seek Invisible Man one, and a couple other fun things.
Remake of something called Siren Head or something like that.
Yeah.
Good night, Jinxie.
Good night, Jinxie. Halloween Story, Spencer Mansion, Curse Force, Patient 104, just to name a few.
But yeah, I like how various of these community games are even doing Halloween events. That I think is really kind of fun. Our next one, since we were talking about haunted houses, or no, not haunted houses, but no, what we're going to talk about here is we were talking about Halloween decorations. You must be mindful of your Halloween decorations, people, especially be mindful of where you live with certain decorations. What we have here is a picture of a Halloween decoration that was supposed to mimic fire.
Fire!
The thing is, this was so realistic that residents in Riverside, California actually called the fire department on this house because they thought it was actually on fire. The effect was inspired by the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland. All it is satin cloth, an orange light, a red light, and a fan to make it look like there are flames dancing.
Yes. And because of that, it looks so real that the fire department keeps getting calls. And at one point, quote, like quoting the person that put it up, Carmen, quote, says, "In fact, one officer apologized for having to ask us to turn it down a bit, but he had to come to our door since someone complained about the music. He said it looked great." And also, they check in every weekend with the fire department to let them know everything's okay.
Everything's good. Everything's fine. But maybe this time of year is not a good time to be doing flame-inspired decorations in California.
Oh yeah, and thank you to the Fox 13 affiliate for giving us this article. Because this was one I was chasing down because I heard it as like, I need to find this article.
Need to validate this.
Need to validate this fake real flames. How I meant, like, of course, it's out of caution, like, it's a good Samaritan thing, but to think that a house would stay burning weeks on end and nobody putting it out, common sense would kick in at some point, you would think. But we're talking about America,
No, we're talking about the fact that literally this effect was so good it made you think it was real. And if you're taking your inspiration from Disneyland's theme park rides,
yep,
dude, I mean,
this is free advertisements for Disney.
I know.
Yeah, so
yes, common sense, highly uncommon. But you know what? And yeah, they have to check in every week with the fire department to let them know, hey, no, we're fine. Yes, we'll turn the decoration off.
Okay.
So,
and speaking of being scared by a horror house,
I mean, that house, the murder house that was on the FX series American Horror Story.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
That house,
as reported on bloodydisgusting.com.
Apparently, they're going to have some fun with this. They are setting up a 3-day live streaming event that will kick off Thursday and will run through till the 1st, 24/7 for 3 days. They will have 15 cameras set up across this 10,000 square foot house, and you can watch it
Yes. And also,
all weekend.
there's
And
some
they have a whole lineup of different people who are going to be in there. I think one of them is going to be someone who gives a tour about medieval torture techniques. They're going to be trying to find ghosts and whatever. This is a ticketed event. It's roughly $25 a ticket. You can check it out at www.themurderhouse.com.
I'll put it in the chat as well.
And
Yeah, there's
of the people who bought tickets, 6 of them,
6 people. 6.
6 winners will go in pairs. 1 pair each day. They'll be hooked up to heart monitors and allowed to just roam the house. Can we just go ass?
And especially the most scariest part is the basement and be live streamed, so we
Yes,
get
this
to
is
watch.
live stream. They're going to kick this off and they're going to run it 24/7 for 3 days.
Yep.
Great.
Oh yeah, it's a very interesting and it's a great thing and fun thing. One that imbues the passion of the holiday, but also gives a way of incorporating people together in this environment where people can't come together.
I think the idea is bloody brilliant.
Yeah, it's so
I really
good.
do. I mean, there's so many things that are supernatural things that happen in the world, and science can't explain it. And personally, I don't want science to ever explain it, because when you explain the supernatural things away, you lose something in the world.
You lose mystery, but
But when we have these reality shows like Ghost Hunters and all this other great stuff, and then you have these haunted areas that, to be honest, most of us will never get to.
oh, I'm never going to go to them.
I mean, I think it would be absolutely hilarious if while they're live streaming, they actually do see something, because that might actually I mean, granted, people's firsthand accounts are great, but to actually get something recorded would be really awesome.
Oh yeah, it's definitely and cool to get it live streaming. So not only are the people in the house going to be scared, but the thousands plus watching are probably going to be scared at their home. And yeah.
Definitely. I mean, if but we'll see what happens. I mean, this is the time we live in where the world even gets smaller and smaller.
Oh yeah,
Because now you can live stream from anywhere,
including a haunted house.
assuming there's no power outages.
Oh yeah, but check it out. I'll put the news article and the link of the place in the chat. So
Nice.
check it out, people.
You saw me reach for the cup, didn't you?
Oh yeah. So you get terror experts, energy healers, psychiatrists, homeowners, and famous psychics. So definitely. But speaking of uncovering historical and old mysterious things.
Oh. You mean the 36-meter long cat?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love cats?
The animal in the desert. A very
just any
old
desert.
animal.
Not
in
just
the
any
desert.
desert.
Yeah.
This is in Peru, specifically near the rest of the Nazca geoglyphs.
Oh yes.
Because apparently this cat has recently been discovered in that area, and the cat actually predates the rest of the geoglyphs. Now, for those of you who don't know, in Peru, there's an area with these large pictographs that can be seen from space and seen from the air that depict animals. Nobody knows how they were created or anything like that. There's some theories about, different soil stuff to kind of create them, but nobody, they're so big, you have to
Aliens.
see them. Yeah, aliens. Prehistoric memes. Yeah, pretty much. Yes, the Nazca lines. That's
Yes.
actually
I put
NAZCA. But recently they were redoing the map. They were remapping the area to look at building a path and an observing spot, so you could stand up there and look over and kind of see these. In doing so, they discovered they missed one,
oh yeah.
and that is this cat that is roughly 36 meters long, or 37 meters long. It was discovered on the side of a hill, and they've realized when that's on the side of the hill, it's susceptible to more erosion than some of the others. So automatically, they've already gone in to try to preserve it and keep it, and have redecided what they're going to do for this path for this observing area.
Oh yeah, and it's interesting that they find these things. I meant, like, it was hard to find this because they said it's not visible from the ground. As they said, quote, the figure was scarcely visible and was about to disappear because it's situated on quite a steep slope, like you said, Scuba. And the Peru's chief of archaeologist, Johnny Isla, says, quote, the cat predates the Nazca culture, which created most of the figures from 200 to 700 AD. So
yeah, this one actually was dated back to roughly 500 BC to 200 AD.
So it's kind of interesting to notice that we know majority of the lines were created by this group of indigenous people. Who created this one? Because this one predates the culture itself, and it brings up to the point I was mentioning offline. Maybe it's this kind of mystery, which plays into what you were saying, that maybe we just don't need to know what the mystery, what the answer to the mystery. Just leave it mysterious, you know. We don't know who created this. It predates the actual culture that it was created in. Let's leave it at like that.
Well, I think it's another great thing because I was watching a series on Disney Plus. It was I remember now.
I think I know which one you're talking about, but it's
where they kind of used they were using laser. I don't remember, but anyways, it was showing like they stripped away all the vegetation around Machu Picchu and some of these other areas to show what these things looked like way back when in their heyday. And it's like the construction methods used and some of these things that these people created that we're still struggling to figure out how to do it now, because the stuff we build doesn't last nearly as well as what they built with. But I think these kinds of things are really fascinating.
Was it on the National Geographic portion?
It's a National Geographic. The host is a dude who's got a prosthetic leg.
Drain the Oceans?
No, that's another fascinating one. But
I'll figure it out.
But yeah. Ancient aliens. Yeah, I mean, but you know, if this is aliens and whatnot that did this,
I just don't want to know. Personally, I just don't want to know.
You know, we'll probably find out at some point.
Was it a series or a movie?
It was a series.
Okay.
Like 8 episodes long.
Drain the Sunken Pirate City.
He's gonna be searching for that for a while, I could tell. But
speaking of other things, we definitely have a fun ride to end the night.
Yes, let's close. Let's close out on
let's
something cool.
The tease that actually was teased from last week, because I found the article at the end of last week.
Yes, this is the new John Wick inspired roller coaster that is set to open in early 2021. It is it is a roller coaster that is 10 stories tall. You start by going into the hotel and you get to see all these various setups and recreations for that. But as you wait in line to get on the roller coaster, you're actually given a choice. Do you want to help Mr. Wick or do you want to hunt Mr. Wick? And apparently there's some different aspects that happen depending on which way you choose to go about with riding the ride. But it's supposed to be just kind of this... The John Wick films are a roller coaster in amongst themselves because they have this just action and then it's like up and down, up and down. Well, let's translate that to a roller coaster because why not? We don't talk about roller coasters all that much anymore. I mean, people got like their virtual reality and things like that. I mean, who wants to do roller coasters?
Oh yeah, it's definitely, this is awesome to incorporate a very fun and popular franchise today into a ride. So you get to experience some fun excitement while also helping along the mission. And it's going to be opening at Motion Gate Theme Park in Dubai in early 2021. So get your tickets now, people. We are going to the Middle East.
And we have just got this whole globe-trotting adventure park thing.
Oh yeah.
I can't do roller coasters anymore. I have the seats aren't comfortable. Not for me anymore. Someday maybe if I can get back down to being a smaller person. No, not Lost Treasures of the Maya.
I'll find it. I am on Disney Plus right now, trying to find Ancient
The
Mysteries.
host
Maybe.
was actually kind of fun to listen.
Lost Treasures of the Maya, Lost Cities with Albert Lynn.
Yes, that's it. Lost Cities with Albert Lynn.
All right.
He was using the ground penetrating radar and laser measuring to sit there and scan the lost cities.
Yep. I put the link for Disney Plus in there if you want to check it out, people.
That was actually a lot of fun because they went to the Crusade area in Jordan, in Israel. They went to the Philippines. They did Machu Picchu, and they did another. I'm trying to remember, they did another one. But yeah, it was like all these crazy bits where this construction was just amazing.
The Knights Templar in Israel, the Ghost City in the Pacific, El Dorado, Stonehenge. What you said.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
Put the link in there, people. Check it out if you got Disney Plus.
Yep. And of course, roller coasters are fun, and John Wick is great. John Wick 3 and 4 are going to be coming out, or 4 and 5, I should say, because we've already seen 3. 4 and 5 are coming out, so all the fun there.
2022, 2023, back to back filming.
All of that crazy stuff.
Oh yes, people. Told you I'd find it. Just give me time.
I no doubt of that. Oh man.
All right.
Then COVID hit. Well, maybe we'll get you a chance to go next year. Hopefully,
save a little bit more money, And even when things reopen, everything is good to go. Vaccines out there, it's safe. People still be cautious, so it might be an empty park for you. You can ride the rides 100 times. Look at the benefits, people. The benefits.
The benefits. Yep. So that brings episode 69 of Scuba and The Ry to a close. Do the activity feed real quick. Give the shout outs where shout outs are due. Zip for the bits. Thank you. D-Man Rose for the 2-month sub. Thank you. Chadster for the 4-month sub. Thank you. More bits from Zip. Phantom, thank you for the follow. That is much appreciated. If you're new here and like what you're seeing or whatever, please consider a follow so you get notifications when we come online again. We do several shows throughout the week. We have, of course, tonight Scuba and The Ry. Saturday we have Twilight's Gleaming, which will get renamed as the party decides what name they want to go by. And then we have Challenge Accepted. Saturday morning, 10 a.m. is Twilight's Gleaming. Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern is Challenge Accepted. And Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern is Sundays with Scoob, where drink coffee, hang out, deep dive, giggles, all those fun things. Been doing some campaign planning last week. I might do some more of that, working through Trello and going through the modules. Obviously, it'd be kind of spoilerific if you're a member of those games, but we'll see what happens.
Yes, sir.
And of course, a shout out and a thank you to Syrinscape for the background musics. We are back in the Vistani camp, listening to some good Vistani music in Barovia, because why not? Thank you to everyone in the chat. You guys are awesome and amazing. Thank you for hanging out with us this far. Look forward to seeing you on our next one. Thank you to my co-host for spending another Tuesday night hanging out here so we can chat and talk about all the wonderful things that we find on the internet.
Nerding out.
So now that we've done that, it's time for us to sail away. Sail away. So y'all have a great one. Stay safe. All the things. Make sure you talk to people. We're getting into the holiday season. This is where people get a lot of A lot of stress and depression, and we're still not through all of this stuff yet. Also, if you're old enough to vote and you've registered to vote, don't forget next Tuesday is election day. Must vote if you have the opportunity. And we will see you on our next stream. Good night, everybody.
Scuba Ry 2020. Peace.